Hey y'all, welcome back to Sin City Review. Today, we're checking out one of my pistols. This is my Springfield MC Operator, of course chambered in 45 ACP. When it comes to the pistol, I just resprayed it. Basically did all my finishing work while I'm awaiting my can, my Osprey. So yeah, the slide and the frame are done in burnt bronze, and all the controls are done in a really flat graphite black from Cerakote, of course. We'll kind of go around the pistol and let y'all see the custom work that's in it. Starting at the back, Nighthawk skeletonized hammer. Really nice. I like these hammers a lot. 10.8 performance rear sight. That's their regular mount, their low mount. That's not the high rise. The only thing actually factory in this gun left is a slide, the frame, and this beaver tail grip safety. Everything else is completely different. Have a Nighthawk custom mainspring housing back there, 25 lines per inch. This is actually a pretty cool magwell. Nighthawk did this for me a long time ago. They basically cut the frame, as you can see here. This is the frame length, but up here the frame is cut up to the top of that magwell, so it doesn't increase the bottom of the gun, the length of the actual frame, any at all. It cuts up and actually adds this nice magwell with retaining, the factory size of the government without making it any longer. So it's pretty cool. Reprofile the 25 lines per inch front strap checkering. Took up pretty aggressively underneath the trigger guard, and there's a 30 lines per inch trigger guard checkering underneath, which I'll show you in a moment. These are some grips I reprofiled. These are VZs, and I wanted to make them super thin, and you can't tell looking straight on, but they're actually only the width of the slide. Pretty cool. I'll show you that in a little bit too. Chamfered and recessed the takedown pin that was already on the pistol from a previous video. Let's see here. The YAM trigger actually it sets the over trowel from behind, which is pretty cool, so the front stays completely smooth without the hole. Thought that was pretty neat. Of course, the Trijicon HD yellow night sight up front. I love that thing. That pairing of that 10.8 and that, awesome. You gotta get the right cut for the U-notch, but depending on how your eyesight is, you can adjust that. I have a Nighthawk custom threaded barrel. Of course, I'm waiting my Osprey can on here. The Surefire X300 Ultra. That's the new one. I blacked out the lettering and the schematics on it, so it's just not so white on, black. I want to kind of black everything out as much as I could. I think the only thing white left is just the X300A, because that's not something you can so much black out. It's like a paint or some sort of, print on there. This thing just turned out wicked. It's nice to see when a plan comes together, There's your 30 lines per inch. Trigger guard checkering I reprofiled. It was crooked when it came back from the first people I had do it, so I took it all down and redid it. And made my 25 lines per inch nice and deep. Reprofiled that as well. So now you can see this magwell. You can see where the frame is still just the factory frame there, but how it takes up, you can see that cut. How far up it actually goes. Pretty cool. Just increases, the flare on the magwell. Just makes it a little more aggressive. Check out how wide these grips are. Look how thin those things are. They're as thin as the actual slide. Isn't it awesome? I had to profile those by hand, but they came out really good. And the thing is, this magwell, it attaches up in the frame underneath this grip right here. It's actually had to be milled out from behind, because that's where there's two screws that actually, mount that magwell on. See if I can get it in focus where you can see there you go. If you look up there, you can see the center hole, and that's the grip bushing. And then the two holes on either side, that's where that magwell actually mounts. So there's screws on the other side, which means behind here it's completely pocketed out, and then for the top of each screw, it's pocketed out as well. A lot of milling went into that, so pretty cool. What else? That's pretty much about it. This thing is set. All I have to get is my can, and it's ready to go. It's nice when I profile down these grips, you can actually see the grain of the micarta underneath. All that linen. Almost looks like a wood grain. Then I sprayed over it with the flat black Cerakote, of course. There you go. It just looks awesome. Almost like a black ebony wood, but that's just micarta. Barrel full-length guide rod. That's an EGW guide rod. So I also took down these 10A Performance rear sights and I blended them to the slide. So usually they come out with a sharper point, but you can see it's completely blended. So if I can get this in the right angle, yeah, as you can see there, it just completely goes with the gun. Flattens out and only kicks up where the sight's at, so I thought that was pretty cool. I love these 10-8 sights, they're awesome. There's your sight picture. Super crisp and clear. Looks awesome. Oh yeah, the RDIH. This is a really cool extended slide release. You know, Wilson Combat makes the ones that pretty much everybody has. RDIH, they're Belgian, and Cylinder and Slide imports these. I really liked it. They actually come in they're more of an angled cut, and they're made for your traditional 1911 that doesn't have a rail. So as you can see, the rail pops out a little bit, and it wouldn't have fit in there. So I had to reprofile all that as well to make it fit. But you know, custom. I'll do a separate review on this light. One of my biggest reviews, or one of the most popular ones, is the X300 and the TLR1 from Streamlight. And I had the new TLR1, the high output, and I have this one, so I'll do another review on those pistol lights. But this thing's awesome. And it's super tight fitting, unlike its predecessor, this X300. I actually had to put some, how would you call it, almost like a rubbery tape right here that would kind of take up the slack because it joggled around on the pistol a little bit too much when I first did it. Get some close-up shots here for you guys. Yep, didn't do midnight bronze, my custom color. I went with burnt bronze. I love it. I mean, it's the whole thing that sparked me custom blending colors, you know, and doing my own Cerakote color blends was this color because I loved it so much. I just played with it over and over again. But to pay tribute to that color, went ahead and did my operator in it. My hands are sweaty. It sucks. Anyways, y'all, just want to show off one of my personal pieces, something that was a long time coming, and finally got everything I needed for it. Except for the can. When the Osprey comes in, I'll put that on there and let you all check it out. As you can see, the trigger right there, there's no hole for the over travel. It's actually behind. And this trigger is super sweet. I mean, it just breaks so clean. It's just barely. And the reset is pretty cool too. You can hear it. There you go. Reset, break. Yeah, it's like a glass rod. It just snaps every time. It feels so good. What else? Ed Brown's safety. I think that's pretty much about it for custom stuff. I talked about the grips, the trigger. Yeah, sights, everything's in there. Put this guy back on. Yeah, these new Surefire X300s, these Ultras, they just have such a solid lockup. And then they have the other one, or if you want to put that cross pin in there, there's two ways to actually mount it. It's even tighter than this, if that's possible. It's just harder to get in and out, basically. But they did such a good job on the quick release that I don't even have to put that one on. That's what I used to run on my other. Yeah, this thing is rad. Couldn't be happier with it. Anyways, y'all, As always, questions, comments, concerns, just leave them and I'll answer accordingly. God, this thing turned out clean. I strive for the same work for all my customers' pistols, of course, but it's nice when your own work turns out nice as well, you know? You're always hoping that it will. Lots of times it doesn't, you know? Lots of times I'll just kind of mess something up on my gun and I won't go the extra mile to really worry about, you know, buffing it out and making it look perfect, but sometimes everything just works out, and this one it definitely did. Anyways, y'all, until next time.